Right now, we're awaiting remarks from former President Bill Clinton. He's scheduled to appear at a Martin Luther King memorial service in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, the former president is involved in a very heated battle on the campaign trail. Presidential hopeful Barack Obama going head-to-head now with his chief rival's husband. In an interview this morning, Good Morning America, Obama accuses Bill Clinton of getting way too involved on Hillary's behalf and of distorting Obama's record. The Clinton campaign has responded, saying the senator is simply frustrated by his loss in Nevada. Our guest, indicated radio host and Fox political analyst Tammy Bruce, and Democratic strategist Bob Beckel. Good to see you both. Tammy,
you too.
Hi, guys.
You know, Obama was very straightforward today. He didn't call Bill Clinton a liar, but he essentially did by saying he's spreading deliberate falsehoods.
Well, Barack Obama's got to be very careful because he's going to make a serious strategic mistake. Bill Clinton has done something very interesting just prior to both Hillary's 2 wins in New Hampshire and then Nevada. The day before, he has gone on a tirade, and he was almost the only Clinton in the news the day before the election, and she won those 2 primaries. So, and in Nevada, of course, the caucus. Well, you have to watch on the 25th for South Carolina if the same thing happens. If Barack Obama chooses to engage Bill Clinton, he's doing, I think, what they want. Bill Clinton is simply more liked than Hillary, and when people see him and then they see the name Clinton, that's when they vote for it. And by the way, he needs to be even stronger, Barack Obama, if he is going to engage them than he was this morning. It was a very weak approach, I thought. He complimented Hillary Clinton, which is a mistake, because then in their answer back, the campaign, it was quite blistering against him. And I think that he is making a strategic mistake if he decides to engage Bill Clinton at this stage.
There are some live pictures from that event, by the way. Bob, what about that? Do you think that Barack Obama may be falling into a Bill Clinton trap here in which he's trying to bait him?
No, Greg, it may surprise you. I don't agree with Tammy on this. Look, the fact is that he has to engage, and for 3 good reasons. One, by taking on Bill Clinton, it sort of diminishes Hillary Clinton because it looks like 1 against 2. Secondly, you know, there's a lot of people in the Democratic Party who believe the Clinton brand, which had gotten so good around tsunami relief and worldwide, has been diminished by him being back on the campaign trail, acting very much like a pal. And the third thing, of course, is that it highlights any attack they make on Obama in South Carolina will get magnified that much more by the press. And so I think it's a good defensive and an offensive move, and frankly, I don't think he had any choice. You
know, Tammy, the Washington Post accused Bill Clinton of playing, quote, the chronic victim. And then the New York Times, did you see this piece? I mean, they said Bill Clinton's temper is now an issue. He's red-faced nearly every week, making headlines, defending his wife, injecting himself into the race, and they say it is a distraction. Is it?
It's worked. It's worked every single time. Again, the day before her 2 wins, he had a tirade, a red-faced bluster, and she won nicely. This is a fascinating framework that, in fact, it is 2 against 1. I like Barack Obama, but the fact if he falls into what this is a trap, it maybe is another indication why he shouldn't get the nomination. The truth of the matter is, Bill Clinton, if people like him, he has an impact, and regardless of people complaining, it's working. She is ahead, frankly, because of him. Another reason, this would be the equivalent if Romney, frankly, was having to engage Cindy McCain. That you'd look at, well, why is that kind of a fight happening here? It's not, because the Clintons are seen as a team, and I do think it's unfair, and I think that's what Barack Obama should focus on.
Wait a minute. Party elders, apparently, Rahm Emanuel, Ted Kennedy, called up Bill Clinton on the phone and said, you got to pipe down. You're becoming a liability, not an asset. What about that?
Yeah, I'll tell you where, Tammy, you're not right about this, about him blowing up, and that's the reason she won those 2 things. I don't believe that. But secondly, let's remember now, we're moving into the South.
It didn't hurt her.
Blacks have a very large percentage of the vote, and in South Carolina, it's 50% or better than that. And this is a big issue in the black community. They don't like it.
He's going to win South Carolina.
And if she wins South Carolina, which he wins South Carolina, Obama, I believe he will, then I think he's going to prove this is not a smart move on the Clintons' part.
Already this election is moving again by race, which means she is going to win because the details of the issues are being annihilated. Add Bill Clinton to that mix, Barack Obama is going to lose, and he's made several mistakes.
Tammy, didn't Bill Clinton's fairy tale remark galvanize the African-American vote in South Carolina? He's now up by 10+ points there.
No, I think it's divided on race. You are looking now at people making a decision on complexion, which is a disservice to the black community, a disservice to every American, especially with a candidate as appealing as Barack Obama. He's going to win there, but he's going to lose the nomination.
Well, it is a winning strategy for South Carolina. And if we're about wrapped up,
South Carolina is not the whole election.
School thing. It really doesn't show that much.
Bob, is this becoming identity politics increasingly?
Is it becoming identity politics?
Sure. Especially in a place like South Carolina where 50% of the vote is African American.
And it started with Michelle Obama, by the way, on 60 Minutes when she said black gets shot going to the gas station. That started with her, and it was reinforced with Oprah Winfrey.
All right.
That was another calling of the race card in a very different manner.
It's tough to avoid identity politics when you've got a black man and a woman running against each other. I mean, let's face it.
Oh, no, you can avoid it if you don't play it up.
Well,
of course you
I guess we hoped after Iowa that it wouldn't be the case, but it is now apparently. All right, Tammy Bruce, Bob Beckel, out of time. Thanks to both of you.
Thanks, guys.
Megan?